Chips, they're not just for chocolate, computers, and generational trauma, they're now for potatoes. And also they're not French fries, Europeans. You heard me. Today I'm gonna taste each and every single kind of potato chip that we could get our hands on, blind, and I'm gonna rank them 1 to 10. And then you are gonna do with that information whatever you want. It's your chip. I'm just dipping in it. Let's get started. First chip is a Ruffle, is Ruffled. This doesn't look like Ruffles, if I'm being honest, because it looks very thick and kettled. So let's try it out. Definitely a Kettle chip, high-end, medium to high-end Kettle chip. you know what I'm talking about. Probably like a Cape Cod kind of zone. I don't know what Ruffles are doing in the Kettle chip format. I don't know if they're adding to the conversation, but it's a conversation worth having. This is the first one. I got to establish my rating system because this affects all the ratings to come.
10, a restaurant-worthy potato chip.
These are higher than average. They're not exploding my brain, but they're good. So I feel like these are a 7. They're a solid factory standard. They're all factory standard. They're a solid Kettle chip. So little things to say about chips. I thought vanilla ice cream was gonna be hard. This is gonna be a real Boulder Canyon, a brand that I've not heard of until just right this very moment. It's cooked in avocado oil. You could have fooled me. I'm gonna try to guess what oil is fried in now. That's the only other dimension that I can add to this. What kind of oil is fried in, whether it was sea salt or just salt. Yep, these are 7. Good job, Boulder. These chips are yellowier than I'd say an average chip. Also, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a fold over guy. Ooh, double fold over all the way across the sky. They taste artisanal. I think I get like a peanut oil vibe off of them. I'm gonna try to guess the fat. It's not gonna work. They're a little thin. I like Kettle chips to be very thick and crispy, but I do like the flavor, but they're not as good as the big Boulder Canyon River. They're not as good as those. So I think these are a 6. Panera coming in strong. Just goes to show, you can't tell the difference between a gourmet Kettle chip and a Panera Kettle chip. Vegetable oil, sunflower, corn, canola, all the oils except peanut. It's no pasta bread bowl. No, it's Domino's. It's no soup bread bowl, but chip bowl. Okay, now we have some chips that are slightly lighter in color. They're covered in potato peel detritus, is what I would call it, because they have the potato skin still on the chip. You pay extra for that. What the hell? I think it's rancid oil. I'm serious, I think that the oil that they fried this in had turned. I'm gonna try one more just to make sure I didn't get a bad chip. Now that tasted really good. Mixed bag, literally. It gets you a 4.
There's an explanation for you on that.
There's an explanation for me?
No, I want to read.
It's an open bag of chips, don't throw them to me. Just hold them out.
I'm just
Hold them out like a normal person. Just hold it still.
See how it swings?
Classic sea salt Joe chips. Indie chip companies, they all have a story. It's a very long story. Joe's retro style chips are cooked the old-fangled way in a very, very hot cooking kettle. We carefully cook one batch of Joe's chips at a time. So they are cooked small batch, which presumably means that I got a chip from a different batch that was bad. So I want to clarify, I want to say that that good chip that I had was a solid 7, if not an 8. It had a great flavor to it. The bad chip was not very good at all. So I'm gonna bump it up to a 5 because that feels more fair. I'll show you quality assurance. Right in this bowl. A bit plainier, Janier looking chip. If those aren't classic Lay's, I'll shave my head. Get it? Those are classic Lay's, I guarantee it. Could be something else. I'm no better for having eaten these chips, but I'm no worse. That gets you a 5. That's a 5. Well, this is Market Pantry. This is, isn't this a brand of Target? This is a Target brand. Okay, Target, you made some chips and they're fine. But they're just a Lay's knockoff, which I'm gonna get really some hate for not liking Lay's that much, but I just don't like Lay's that much. They're boring. Here we have some more potato chips. From looking at them, I was sure that they were gonna be normal, not Kettle chips, but they're Kettle chips. They're thin, but they're quite crunchy, but it's a stale crunch. They taste like they've been open for one day. So it's not the end of the world, but if you left these open for one day, it would be. Good flavor, texture's not great. What does that get you? Gets you a 4. Cape Cod. Come on, I like Cape Cod. Really? Hang on. Oh, so crispy. No. No two chips are identical, but they all share a hearty potato flavor and that wonderful Cape Cod crunch. Which is the worst part about these chips? Sorry, Cape Cod, 4. Okay. Now, those aren't Lay's. I'll eat this entire bowl.
Pull it back.
I think these are Lay's. They taste, again, just like Lay's. They're incredibly salty. Or at least that first chip was incredibly salty. Flavor's really bland. I'm tasting more oil and potato, and they're pretty boring. I think that gets you a 4. Oh, Herr's. The chips I learned about from that one episode of The Office. Crisp and tasty. Is that the flavor? That's the flavor, crisp and tasty. They're not that tasty, and yeah, they're crisp. Okay, some much yellowier, translucent chips. I can see perfectly through this. I could read a newspaper from a mile away through this chip. And they're yellowier, so careful with what you buy. Crunch isn't that great. Flavor's okay. It tastes like, again, like peanut oil. I guess I think all things taste like peanut oil. I'm gonna like that. They also feel like they're gonna be expensive. Something about these screams expensive, I don't know what, but that makes me angrier because I don't like them. I don't like that, that's bad. They taste good though. 4. Oh, I knew it was Torres. I should have said something, but then I thought people would think I was cheating. But I knew it was Torres.
$6.95 for 5 1/3 ounces.
They don't have some cutesy story on the back because they're like, we're Torres, we can charge whatever we want. You're gonna buy it, why would we write something? Oh yeah, all right, Torres, as I suspected, not worth the euros. Boring. Huh, what the hell's this? What could these possibly be? Well, okay, to be fair, we do have 2, I don't know how else to say it, Pringles style potato chips here today. Pringles and another one. I don't think these are Pringles. Okay. They don't have that like, It's not that I don't know what I'm talking about. I have bad flavor memory, okay? You can't fault me for that. You can, but you'd be a dick. We must have gotten a stale batch because these are not good. I swear that there's a difference between Pringles in a small can and Pringles in a big can.
Medium can.
Oh, well, even worse, medium. I've never even heard of such a thing. I like Pringles a lot, but I have to give these a bad score because they're not very good. So I'm gonna meet you halfway. If normally I would give Pringles like a 7 because they're very craveable and very tasty and just can't stop eating them. And these are like a 5, so I'll meet you halfway at a 6. Oh wow, it's Pringles.
There's a thread
Chips.
on Reddit from 3 years ago asking, did they change something in Pringles?
Well, if Reddit is complaining about it, then must be true. Oh. Might as well get all the wavy guys out of the way. But Steve, you know me. You know me, Steve. You know me, Steve. I gotta do it, you know? Oh, those are worse. Taste faker somehow, almost like styrofoamy. Worse texture. I think I'm gonna give them a 3. I don't like them. I don't much like them at all. The Good Crisp Company, classic original potato crisps. All taste, no guilt. Too many times do I taste things and be like, oh God, I feel guilty for tasting this so much. Okay, you saved 10 calories and 2 grams of fat, so apparently that's guilt-free. The chip bowl knows no prejudice. It is a democratic system. Okay, a lot of foldovers here. That's doing it for me. That's getting me going. Good crunch. That same like blended oil flavor, like there's a blend of fats in here, I think. Kettle style, not too thick, not too thin. I mean, in my mind, you cannot be too thick. You could give me a whole Kettle style potato and I would love it. Solid flavor, but nothing too crazy or special, so 7. We got Hal's. Hal's New York. Original sea salt. Al was New York born, New York made. He loved to tease his sons by calling them crackers. Well, no. He loved to tease his sons by calling potato chips crackers. Yeah, okay. Nice job, Hal's. Finest brand of potato. Does CVS have a store brand of potato chips? Probably not. Ship me, baby, one more time. This is my favorite. When one just sticks to another, because it's like a fold over, but different, you know? It's like, these are good chips. They taste good, look good. A lot of foldovers. Honestly, there's so many foldovers, I'm going to reward it for that. Would have been a 7, but you put so many foldovers in there, I'm gonna give you an 8. I really like their texture, flavor's solid, and they look good too. They look better than most chips. Dirty. Dirty chips. Dirty tells the story of the humble potato, fresh from the earth, sliced and cooked the same way it's been done since 1986. Look, I love any product that is named unappealingly. It's cool, and also your product has to be really good to stand up to its name. So dirty potato chips, so far, best of the bunch. I would swear these are the exact same chips that I just had. The same. Okay, no, that's very salty, okay? That's very salty. And a lot of foldovers. Look at all the foldovers I'm stacking. Look at how high can I stack the foldovers. There's another one. Oh, so it's too salty, but the flavor of the actual potato tastes better somehow. And I love all the foldovers, so it's gonna tie. It's gonna tie for an 8. Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's regular chips. Oh, look at all the foldovers. They're all foldovers. These are really good chips, okay, Jimmy John's? Stop eating them. You already graded them. What are you doing? Is this one pickle?
It's a singular pickle.
This isn't one pickle. There's at least twice or thrice as many as one pickles. Jesus. Oh. Am I right, fellas? These ones look the same again. They all start to look the same. Not as many foldovers though, I can tell you that much, except for this. Look at this, I got a foldover within a foldover. Do you see that? I'm not gonna make an Inception joke, even though I totally could, I'd be justified. I'm calling it right now. From now on, if you find a foldover that contains within it yet a separate foldover, it's good luck. They're too thin and not quite crispy enough for a Kettle chip, so that's the only thing they don't have going for them compared to the last two, so I'm gonna give this guy a 7. Okay, that's just fine Kettle chip, if you ask me. Fine by me. Oh, what are these? Potato chips? Ooh, I was just craving potato. God, these look wet. They're so oily. Look at this, the sheen. Look at how shiny. Do you see how shiny? They're so oily, so greasy, so dirty. These are all the same. You've been giving me the exact same bag of chips from the same bags since the beginning, I know it. They're so oily that the crunch becomes muted. Almost like French fries that you didn't drain properly after cooking. Like there's a dullness about their texture. I don't know what to call it, whereas it's just like your teeth don't shatter through this. Texture's not good. They almost taste stale. And also, woefully low on salt. So, kind of not ticking many boxes for me here. I think I'm gonna have to give these guys a 4. If they were any grosser or anything, I'd give them a 3 or 2, but they're not gross, they're just disappointing. Zaps!
Alex owns Zaps and Dirty.
Whoa.
Okay, folks, we just learned some very upsetting information. Dirty, I gave an 8 to, right? If they're the same chips and they're just putting them in different bags, you're right to unsubscribe. I get it. You shouldn't be here. I like Zaps, so we might have just gotten stale Zaps. But if I'm judging off this batch, my ruling stands. All right, next batch is very uniformly big, wide, and round-ish. No foldovers. I have to dock it for that. I love foldovers so much. I know you're not a foldover person, but I love foldovers. and these are my decisions, I have to dock it. Oh, how awful. Tastes burnt. Let me try another one just to make sure it wasn't that chip. Yeah, it tastes burnt. I'd tolerate them if I had to. If I had a sandwich and no other chips, and I have to have chips with my sandwich. That's the one thing saving you from a 1. This is a 2. Why is this drama? Oh, well, you're wrong. People love wise, you're wrong. Sorry. Sorry if you guys like them, but I don't. 2. Wow, these are even yellowier than the Torres chips. Not terribly crispy. Crispy enough, but they're very, very thin. They taste like Pringles, but they feel like Lay's and they look like Torres. These are confusing. They're probably Lay's. Now that I didn't say, these are Lay's, now these are gonna be Lay's. Are these Lay's? No. Don't, okay. The flavor's not really there. Like it's very, very muted flavor, and like I said, it's very Pringle-like, and not enough salt. Like I'm not getting enough salt on these. Yeah. Yeah, and the flavor of the actual chip is not great now that I've licked it. I'm gonna give them a 3. 3 for thee, but not for me. C. Oh, G. What the f? Bonilla a la Vista. $3.50 for a 1 3/4 ounce packet of garbage. I hate everything about this. They're probably lovely people, but ooh, these are not great. And I hate how expensive they are. And why are all expensive potato chips yellow?
They're also from Spain.
Oh, they're from Spain. That explains it. Or should I say that explains it? We just pulled a hard left into a spot slightly too small for our car called Munchos. Those are Munchos. They're not as good as I remember. They're so light and so crispy, and they just kind of disappear in your mouth. These don't feel as light and crispy as they used to, and the flavor is way flatter than I remember. Sorry, you remember Munchos? Tell me if this tastes the same to you. Does that taste the same?
No, it doesn't.
Definitely not like the revelation that I remember at my first sleepover when these guys hit me. They hit me hard, brother. But now they're just a little love tap at best. The flavor is bordering on not good. I'm gonna give them a 4. Yeah, oh wow, we'll look at some Munchos. Whoa, what are these? Yeah, no, something's off. Something ain't right. Whoa. Very thick, very crispy. Distinctly potato-y flavor, which I know sounds strange for me to say. Chips don't really taste like true potato flavor. They taste like chips. They taste like fried potatoes, very different. And these taste kind of potato-y, which is nice. It tastes off again, like kind of like the Munchos. Well, they're not bad. They have a good texture. Flavor is throwing me for a loop a little bit. Salt content's good. That gets you a 6. Oh, Deep River.
Saucy pun on the back.
I always mix up Deep River and Dirty. Dirty River. Because we give a chip.
That's the saucy pun.
That's saucy as hell. Giving back is the very core of Deep River because we give a chip. Well, damn it. Now I feel bad. You know what? This is the first charitable chip I've had today. I'm bumping it up to a 7. You ever squeeze a chip between your teeth and oil comes, it like leaches out of it, you feel it? Ugh. Some are burnt, some are way too oily, and the ones that aren't are okay. The ones that aren't, I would give a 6. The other ones, I'm giving a 3. So that gets you a 5, right? No, 4. That gets you a 4.
Round it up, you round it down.
5. What do we got here? Good and Gather. This targets fancy brands. There's so much variance. That was a really good chip. I've had some really bad ones. It's a real mixed bag. 5. 5. Really crunchy. Really good flavor. There's salt. And the chips. They taste kind of like they're frying oil, which I kind of like if it's good frying oil. They're good. I like them. But they're not blowing me away. So 7.
Also, that
And
was
it's
the
called
entirety of that.
DVash. You know, DVash. Come on, guys. Jeez. What is this? You're probably wondering why it's called DVash. Well, it's kind of a funny story, and it pertains to our deep, resounding love of making high-quality chips. It means what?
Honey.
So apparently this means honey in Hebrew. Okay. All right. If these aren't Lay's, they're not Lay's, are they? Stupid. No, I'm greasy now. I wasn't greasy before. I don't have oily skin. It's because of the chips. Somebody give me a towel. Too shiny. Okay. Okay. All right. It was the chips. These aren't very good. Boring. Just very boring. Four on these guys. Trader Joe's Ode to the Classic Potato Chip, and it is a very fitting name because it seems like, well, it's an ode to Lay's. But they're not allowed to say that. There's nothing better than a classic, like your parents' old station wagon with the wood paneling still going on with the car. So basically, this was written on here specifically for Gen Xers. This is a little, hey, you know what? We know that you're just turned 40 and you're pretty depressed. We got a little bit of nostalgia for you. Oh, it's another fold within a fold. That's 2 separate chips, my friend. That's the equivalent of finding 8 8-leaf clovers. It's like a rose. That's way better, thank you. Okay, those are delicious. They have a really great natural kind of earthy flavor almost. And the fat flavor is very, very good. I don't know if they're frying in peanut oil, cottonseed, or freaking castor oil centeed, I don't know. Nice and thick, really, really crunchy and crispy. 2 different things. They look natural too. There's little bits of green. You ever get a potato that's green? That's the thing. That's what happens when you make chips the good old-fashioned way, the hard way. So I guarantee the bag says. I don't just like these chips, I love these chips. I really like these, god damn it. These are a 9, I love these chips.
Right? Right?
It's 7-Eleven's chips.
Right?
I truly am a man of the people. I certainly didn't know that 7-Eleven made chips. I certainly didn't know that they had a brand called 7 Select. The boldest flavors always seem to be found in the tastiest chips. What does that mean? The boldest flavors always do seem to be found in the tastiest chips. Y'all make the best kettle chips I've had in a hot Texas minute. Wow. Christ, I have to eat the roast chip. But I'm gonna give them a 10 if I do. Do you hear that, Steve? Yeah. Rigid chippers. Okay. If those aren't Lay's, I'm kidding, they're Ruffles. But they're absolutely Ruffles. And ew. I don't care for them at all. Off-putting kind of burnt flavor. Crispy, but not at all crunchy. And even for a thin, non-kettle style chip, these things are barely there. And I'm sure I'm about to get crucified for saying that I don't like Ruffles. Here I am. Yeah, I got even before. Show me the Ruffles. Oh my God, thank you so much. Christ. It's these motherfuckers again. Oh, the Good Crisp Company. You guys are wackadoos. Australian chips, 0 for 2. Okay, but these taste weird. These taste really weird. These taste weird, brother.
Like a Yorkshire pudding.
What? What?
The front flavor is like a Yorkshire pudding.
You could have fooled me. Yeah, you know what these taste like? They taste like a composite chip like Pringles. That's not a slice of potato, that is a composite of potato product that's been pressed into a Pringle. And the crunch is very strange, very styrofoamy. They're not very good, I don't like them very much, which nets them a 3. Yeah, okay, they're healthy. They have 70% less fat, nothing artificial, never deep fried. That's what these taste like. They taste like the baked Lay's. Free of anything artificial, free of preservatives, free from gluten, free from saturated fats, and free from cholesterol. There you have it, folks. Wonder what these oddly octagonal, sextagonal, whatever shape baked Lay's are. I used to get baked Lays every single time I went to Subway. Every single time, for my health. The last ones were better than this. I'm gonna give these a 3. Again, this is something I used to eat with high frequency, but compared to the other chips, nah, son, I shouldn't talk like that. Doesn't sound right coming out of me. Well, there's one thing I know that these aren't, and that's Lays. I'm kidding. These are Lays. I mean, they suck like Lays. They are a little stale feeling. Flavor's very boring, and they're undersalted. So I'll give these guys a 4. Boulder Basket, which is an extremely regional grocery store brand. So we'll forgive you for not ever having heard of these, and we hope you'll forgive us for even having them on the show. Next up, some orangey chips, I have to assume, are sweet potato chips. I hate that they're kind of good because I know who makes them and I want to tear them apart, and I still will. But I can't let that cloud my judging process. You know, okay, they're actually not that great. They're not salted enough. Oh yeah, no, I'm getting some really soft ones now. That was a soft chip. Not a sentence you want to hear. Not at my birthday party. Probably a 3 on these, actually. First one I kind of liked, but then it just really went downhill. And that should be the opposite with chips. You shouldn't be like, You should be like, Okay. Okay. Can you find out who owns Good Health, if anyone, before I eviscerate them? Oots has a stranglehold on this chips industry, apparently. This brand is awful, okay? I'll tell you why. Good Health makes those little, those veggie straws that you see at the store, and they have one of the most misleading, predatory graphics on it that I've ever seen in my entire life. Here is a bag of veggie straws, yeah? Fun, right? Snacks for you and the kids. Looks healthy, no? It's by a company called Good Health. Contains the following vitamin values of veggies per serving. 2.5 cups of broccoli worth of vitamin A. 7 cups of spinach, because it's saying it has 7 cups of spinach worth of vitamin B6. A vitamin that spinach has notably not that much of. It's the most deceiving thing I've ever seen in my life, because you see that and you think, oh my God, it's like I'm eating a bowl full of vegetables. But in fact, it's like you're eating the same amount of this bowl full of vegetables if you only had their least active nutrients. So, you guys, I'm not even putting you guys in the chip bowl. You're being denied the chip bowl. Okay, these are Lays. Well, might not be Lays, but they are Ruffles. They don't taste burnt. They taste like, you know, really, really standard average potato chip. They're ridged for my pleasure. They're well salted. These are probably one of the most manufactured chips in the world, and they're just fine. I'm gonna give these a 5. I know that Ruffles are a favorite. I'm not saying they're not one of mine, but compared to other chips, they're thin, they're not as crunchy, they're not as flavorful, and they taste very processed. I still love them, but they deserve a 5. They're middle of the pack. Oh, thank God they're Ruffles. Okay, Ruffles, I have to speak my truth. You have to listen to it. No, you don't. Please don't click. No, don't click. Don't click. Stay here. I'll be funnier. All right. All right. Cool. Yeah. Nice. I like these for the same reason I liked those 7-Eleven chips. They taste very potatoey. Like it tastes like once used cooking oil, you know, like that's what makes restaurant French fries taste so good, is they got all this French fry essence in the oil. If you had a few more foldovers, I'd award you the double foldover. That's a 9, I like those a lot. Kettle! How did you guys get this brand name? Oh my God, look at this story. It's half pictures. So this is all just bragging about how they use less packaging. Cool, I guess I'd rather that than your story. Our family wouldn't be alive today without chips. Kettle brand potato chips. I knew that this was one of my favorites, but I'm very happy to have confirmed that without knowing it. You know what I mean. All right, is that the last one?
No.
Oh, one more, wonder what it is.
Number 30.
What do we got here? I wish you had picked up some Lay's, because these are almost exactly like Lay's. Oh no, Lay's is the days is long. And they're not as good as most other chips, but they're oddly craveable. Bet you can't just eat one. That's their tagline, isn't it? Bet you can't just eat one slogan. Lay's.
Not on their bag.
They must have killed it. Bet you can't stop eating them. Bet you eat a whole bag by yourself, naked and afraid. Yeah, I mean, they're really dead center of the pack, if not that great. But they are very craveable, and they are kind of the prototypical chip zone. 5 for Lay's, best used as a sandwich topper. See, these are the ones that they're eating over there just for fun, even though we have all the chips in the world. So should I give them a 10 or something? What do I do?
I like how the salt kind of makes my tongue rough.
You heard it here, folks. Well, folks, we special ordered these chips and forgot. So I already know what they are. I'm not gonna be able to taste them blind. We ordered them special, and we wanted to make sure that we got a chance to review and taste them. So I'll do my best to stay objective and not think about the fact that these chips are from New Jersey. Never seen these before in my life. You really shouldn't put chips in a clear plastic bag. That doesn't sparkle. Let's see if it's worth the tax and tariff and duty and whatever else you have to do to get these chips. I'm trying really hard to give them a fair crack, but they suck. They're very Lay's-like in their thinness and texture, but they actually have less flavor and not salty enough. But you get a really handsome tin that your grandmother can keep stuff in that you'll find when you have to go clean out her house. How much did this cost us? I'm sorry, come again?
$31.99. Yep.
$37 after tax and shipping to eat these garbage chips. To quote a very, very famous New Jerseyan, the balls on these bricks. The balls on this brick. It's the best impression I can do. Totally honestly, come on, 3. Because they're worse than Lay's, and that's all I have to say about them.
Do you want to add Charles chips?
No, I don't want to add Charles chips. I don't want to sully this batch. There you have it, folks. 2 8s, 2 9s, no surprises here. A couple big surprises right here, was not expecting that. These are my top picks, but they're just my top picks. I want to hear yours. I want to hear what you think I should rank next, and whatever else is on your mind. Just leave a comment. I'm listening, I'm reading. The question now becomes, what do we do with all these chips? I'm asking. I have no idea. What do we do? Should I sit in them with no bottoms on? Or anything else? Anything else?